Morning. I'm Pamela Waldrop, and I'm president of our photographic collective, Fotofoto Gallery. Congratulations on being in our 16th National Photography Competition exhibition. It's a terrific show. I'm looking forward to hearing about your piece in the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm very, very happy to be a part of it.
But your piece, Fade, is every time I look at it, I'm more intrigued. So I'm looking forward to you telling me all about the piece.
Yeah, definitely. So I shot that in Finland during this artist residency that I was doing for a month. And like, I'll talk just generally about what I do as an artist. I am a film photographer that uses no digital manipulation. Everything I do is done through like hand processing and hand developing. So I usually work with mirrors and forced perspective and natural props to kind of create this illusion that these kind of faceless mythological nymph-like women are transforming and playing and destroying and creating and building the landscape. So this image that I shot in Finland during my residency, I was just reaching out to local people to see if they're interested, no experience necessary. This woman was really nice to actually just be the first shoot that I did there. And we were just like trudging along in the Finnish forests, which are like these beautiful woodlands with like the entire floor is just like blueberries that you can pick and eat, and these very nicely spaced apart trees that are just like repeating. It's almost like being in a giant like funhouse mirror because every direction looks exactly the same. Versus like a forest here, which would be like kind of closely dense together, maybe some like brush over there, or maybe like a path this way. And this was all just like trees spaced apart. And I had her pose in the center of my photograph, and I had a shard of a mirror. So it was like a broken piece that was long. And I just held it in front of my camera as I was taking it. So the mirror was here, my camera was here. And the mirror was reflecting what's behind me, which was just more trees. And it gave the illusion that she was disappearing, that she was literally a part of the background. She was like fading into it. And it kind of had this very eerie and spooky sense to it, which I was really drawn to.
It's fascinating. Yeah. I love the way the mirror, I have a whole different perception of it now that you've explained it. The mirror really shifts the whole depth of field as well.
Yeah, I love using mirrors in my work just because, if you use a certain prop, if you photograph it enough, then it just starts to repeat itself. But with a mirror, every photograph is vastly different. So you only need like a few mirrors and then you're good. You have these tools to create vastly different images. So that's why I'm just so into using mirrors in general.
And it looks like the close proximity of the mirror to your lens really provided its own fade out, and it's a wonderful image. I was wondering, is there anything significant about how you went about selecting your subject for the piece?
Well, since that residency was abroad, I didn't know anyone. Honestly, just someone who has an interest in art and wants to be a part of a project is like more than enough. They're not like fashion photo shoots. So some people like they might show up wearing like full makeup, like really nice clothes, like high heels. And I'm like, oh no, you're not gonna be able to walk around the woods with those. Like we gotta dress down. So someone who, has a familiarity with art and knowing that they're going to go into something that's probably going to feel like a little weird. They're not sure if they're going to look very good. It might feel a little cheesy as they're posing. Like they might be in this pose and be like, oh, I feel kind of uncomfortable. I don't really know if I look good, but there's a vision going on. So as long as someone understands, like I'll do whatever she says, then that'll be good. So that's really what I look for. Someone who is not weirded out by posing for an artist.
Now, I was just wondering also, as you're talking, how much of what happens is, of course, the initial idea is yours, but how much of it changes a little bit depending on your interaction with your subject.
Yeah, definitely. I never want to push past anyone's comfort level. So we always, we spend the day together kind of first. We don't just like jump into a shoot. We don't just meet here and start shooting, but we'll meet like for lunch or for a coffee and we'll talk and we'll hang out. I'll show some inspirational photos. We'll talk about what we want to do. Talk about fun things in the area. I also rely heavily on my models to point me in like really beautiful landscape directions, like, oh, I love this park, we should go there. Oh, I really like this place by the water, let's go there. And then they're showing me that a place they love, and that already kind of makes them feel more comfortable and not so much like a fish out of water. But yeah, a lot of it, some of it is loosely planned. I have some ideas, but a lot of it is spontaneous as well. There has to be like that room for both. And someone's like, I do a lot of work also with like nature props. So sometimes I'll use like furs and taxidermy and beehives. And some people are like, I don't want to touch that. So it's like, okay, if you don't want to touch that, like, we're not going to do it. So, again, never want to make someone feel uncomfortable because that'll just show right through the photo.
I'm looking at your image right now, and as I look at it, there is a real feeling of comfort and serenity to the image. Yeah. Do you shoot in black and white, or do you start with color? Can you tell us a little bit about your process, your editing process?
Yeah. So everything is done with film and then processed in a dark room. So I shoot with a Pentax 6x7. So it's a medium format camera, which means the negative is like about like that big. So it's not like a 4x5 where the negative is that big, but instead like that big. So you get all this great detail and sharpness and tonal range, but I still have a handheld camera versus like a 4x5. You got to like lug it around on your shoulder and you really can't move with it or hike with it. The medium format allows for more tones and more sharpness, but I can still carry it with me and move around constantly, which is so important. And I shoot with this really cool film called Ilford SFX, which is actually a fake type of infrared film. And infrared, it's used by the military to detect heat. And then it was transitioned into like wedding photography because it makes the skies really dark and skin glow, and trees have white leaves. And it's like this very kind of pretty cheesy sort of film. And then Ilford made a fake version, which is like a gentle push towards infrared, but it's not fully there. So it just does like some slight things, like it darkens the sky and it can make skin glow, but not so dramatically as real infrared film. So that's a nice balance that I like. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Thank you very, very much for participating in our gallery talks.
Yeah, I'm super happy. Very, very happy to be a part of it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy the rest of the day.
You as well. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.